So, today I am bringing you part two in the healthy cooking series. And yesterday we talked about stocking up the kitchen and what you need to have in order to have a well-stocked kitchen to be prepared to cook healthy. Now you have that well-stocked kitchen, so what do you do with this stuff, right? So I'm going to talk about a couple of different resources that I use. First off, a little disclaimer in that I really enjoy cooking. I am not really artistic or creative in, I would say anyway, except that it really does come out when I'm cooking, and that's kind of, I guess, my creative outlet. So recipes are actually something fairly new for me. I didn't use them for the longest time. I would buy cookbooks and they sat on the shelf and I never used them, except for the standard, how long do you cook a pork roast and at what temperature? But I really didn't use them. So they're pretty new to me, but I'm enjoying them because I think that they've come a long way in terms of what they offer us now. So I use my creativity a lot. So I might say, all right, what do I have in the kitchen? I have chicken, I have garlic, I have spinach. Ooh, let me saute that. So I know what flavors I like and I know what goes together really, really well. So I'm pretty good about that and what cooks about, what time. So that's just, I've been cooking for a long time. My mom was a really good cook. I learned how to cook from her. So that's kind of part of where I got that. So, there's this whole category of just cooking what you like. I would be careful with that category though in terms of how you stock your kitchen. You don't want to just go grocery shopping and grab a bunch of stuff without a plan. That's not really a good idea. Then you're probably gonna, I used to shop that way and I know that I had a lot of waste. So I think probably using the plan more and more coincides with my using recipes more and more because I like to have things planned out. So beyond cooking what I like, I do have a couple of favorite cookbooks. So I originally was going to talk about 3, but I think I'm just going to limit it to 2. One of them, I'm going to talk about both the cookbook and the website. It's Skinny Taste Fast and Slow. Skinny Taste has a few cookbooks, or at least 2. I have 2, but the Fast and Slow one I love. I have not found one recipe in it that I've made that I did not like. And everything sounds tremendously good. So it's always like, I have to be careful not to try to take on too much in a week and cook too many new ones. But Skinny Taste Fast and Slow, that is a fabulous one. And every recipe breaks down like, is it vegetarian, vegan, kid-friendly, freezer-friendly, it just goes through everything you could possibly want to know about it. Paleo, slow cooker, it's all there. And it also breaks down the nutrition facts and smart points. The second cookbook that I've really come to use quite a bit, my stepdaughter bought for me, and it's called Inspiralized. So if you use the Veggie Spiralizer, which is one of my gadgets I'm going to talk about my next part, this will be a great cookbook for you. There's some fabulous stuff. One of my favorite things in here is the sweet potato carbonara. Now, I never would have thought of that, so I needed some help with thinking of creative ways, because a lot of times when I use my spiralizer, I'll just use it to spiralize zucchini, and there's so much more you can do with it. So yeah, I need help with that. Websites. I use websites a lot now. I have my iPad and I just kind of use that in the kitchen, and I really do have come to use that mostly in the kitchen for cooking or watching something while I'm cooking. So one of my favorite websites is cookinglight.com. I used to love Cooking Light magazine. I find that when I buy magazines now, I don't read them. So I love the online resource of cookinglight.com. I actually did a Cooking Light diet a while back and I really enjoyed that, but the Cooking Light recipes can be a lot of work, and so you don't want to plan too many of those in one week. It also, they tend to have like different ingredients that you might not usually buy, so if I'm going to buy a different ingredient, I want to plan around that and make sure that I'm going to use it. So there might be a little more planning, but there's some fabulous recipes there. Skinnytaste.com. It's like the cookbook on steroids. So everything, everything that's in the cookbook is there, and more. I have found that sometimes There might be a slight discrepancy between the cookbook and the web page in an ingredient or something, but it's not a huge deal. It's not a big deal. Clean Eating Magazine, I mean, that kind of says it. Clean Eating Magazine also has some really good recipes. Now, I have a category of blogs. You know, whether something is technically a web, they're probably all technically blogs. I don't know. I really don't know the technical difference, whether they looked like a website or they looked like a blog. That's how I categorized it. There's a really fabulous one, not just for recipes, but for all sorts of clean eating information. It's called 100 Days of Real Food. Anything you want to know about clean eating, that is a fantastic resource. I send people to that all the time. Another really fabulous resource, much like 100 Days of Real Food, is one called The Gracious Pantry. And I really love the way that website looks. It's very crisp, it's very clean, you know, so that's pretty cool. And then one other, and all of these links are going to be on my blog, so if you're looking for the actual link, if you didn't get a chance to write it down, go to my blog and it will be there. Lexi's Clean Kitchen is another really good one, and Lexi has a picture, a whole category for the doggy on her blog, so you just gotta love that right there, right? Anybody who dedicates part of their blog to cooking for their dog is okay with me. So those are some resources for you now that you've got this well-stocked kitchen. Those are some places for you to start. Be careful, it's easy to get overwhelmed, and don't go diving into cookbooks when you're hungry. Make sure you do it right after you've eaten and you're full. I know. When I first went on Pinterest, I gained 8 pounds. I was saving all of these really high calorie recipes. So you want to be careful about looking at recipes and stuff when you're hungry. So that's it for today. The next part of the series, I want to talk about gadgets and tools and things like that I like to have in my kitchen that make healthy cooking just a little bit more fun, maybe a little bit easier. All right, have a great one.